There we go, those are all the right buttons. Welcome back to the WellPlay Invitational by VitalBet, game number 2 between Fantastic 5 and Polarity here in a lower bracket elimination series. So, definitely something on the line. Fantastic 5, they're up 1-0. Polarity with the backs against the wall. They have to win this game to tie up the series and still have a chance at tournament survival. My name is Dragon Drop. I'm joined by Johnny. Johnny, how's it going?
We're good, man. I'm very really just thinking about how this draft's gonna go down because I want to see Polarity really pull it together because we've seen them in the past and how good they can be, and last game just was not a fair representation of what they can do.
Yeah. It just felt like it was
shocker.
a bit.
Disrupt. Shocker.
Yeah. Disruptor wasn't a problem last game. It just felt like they didn't really have a game plan going into it, right? I mean, kind of had the Disruptor, which is a nice kind of team fight controller, but then they never really team fought really until it was late. I mean, then they kind of staggered in, not really taking it the way they wanted to, but really finding the right initiations here, despite the Shadow Blade on Slark, kind of tried to go for these kind of pickoffs and tanky heroes, which didn't quite work out. Definitely have to try and adjust the game style a little bit here, I feel. But with the Darkseer also already picked up for them, they definitely have an extra tool to kind of help you take these kind of 5-minute engagements. I mean, you see the Vombo combo potential, vacuum right onto the same spot, into the static storm, into the wall, and everything else. On the other side, on the other hand, though, Fantastic 5, they got the Beastmaster somehow.
Yeah, he made it through. Apparently, Night Stalker's and they actually, well, you always see the Wisp-Band out in the Firebird, so Lifestealer and Night Stalker left out of the pool this time, so Beast Smash, and they will take the FI will take the Juggernaut again, likely for Oxen one more time, who had a fantastic game. Granted, he did have quite a bit of space, but still, I mean, he did a lot of work there as well. So I really do like the Darkseer pick, though. It kind of shows that they actually do have some sort of game plan here, and yeah, last time their team really wasn't great at anything, honestly. They weren't great at pushing. Their team fight was kind of meh. They didn't have much burst damage. Physical damage was pretty boring. I mean, they were tanky, though, right?
Oh,
they
yeah.
were pretty tanky. But
they
unfortunately,
were,
you cannot win a game on hit points alone, sadly. So let's see if was DK Phobos drafting last game as well?
I don't know.
I don't recall that, actually. That's interesting to note as well, too. I don't know. Maybe they're just kind of just swapping around. Just say, hey, you take care of this for a bit.
I don't know, maybe
Ricky's
just Rage just said,
so...
fuck your draft, I'm drafting next time. I don't know.
Hey, man, take charge. So the Ricky's banned out, so that means Bounty's still in the pool. So yeah. That's definitely a favorite among all regions, not just CIS. So likely either CMP contested or picked up.
I like the Ricky Band though. I mean, with the Darkseer on the field, there's always the potential for this kind of cheese. I mean, you said the Bounty Hunter can also do that, but a little bit less easily because you have to actually expend a lot of mana to just roam around Invis. So it's kind of a little bit easier to spot out as well. But if Ricky with an Iron Shell, you won't know about it until he's right next to you, for the most part, unless you have some vision pre-placed already. So that's something they can still deal with. Still breaking the pool. Polarity want to go for that themselves, which is also a very strong combo. Together with the Darkseer would also kind of help them provide a little bit of extra single target lockdown for the Slark to also benefit off of if they wanted to go for some sort of pickoffs.
I'm thinking they might pick it up for Yol again right here, though.
It could be too. It's decent in general, right? Mostly against these heroes that are actually also hard to bring down because you charge them across the tree line, they don't necessarily are able to get out. And even in the Slark, right? You might be able to purge a little bit. You might be able to ult. You might be able to pounce, but the shot follows you through the pounce. And if you make one mistake, and if you don't get out once, then there's just a chance for a stun lock that lasts at least like 4 seconds or so. Because each bash turns into a 2.1 second stun and goes through BKB, and you're gonna get the guaranteed bash from the charge and the one from the ultimate. So
I like the Oracle pickup. The Firebirds banned out, so they go with the other crazy healing support in this this metagame, the Oracle.
Huh. Death
Oh my
Crossbow.
gosh.
God, no.
Now we're just rapid firing here.
Yeah.
Ebola Spirit makes it through. BZZ most likely on the Alchemist one more time.
Alright. Do you see Polarity actually put on more pressure on the Alchemist this time around, or do they just pick up another bit here that just kind of not dies to him, or does
They
reasonably
they
well?
still have no like reliable lockdown though. It's the same situation as before. There's really no way to really pick him off and keep him locked down. I mean, yeah, the Earth Spirit helps out quite a bit, but later in the game, Alchemist isn't going to give a shit about him. Like he's going to get the Radiance Armlet, and he's just going to be able to beat up the Earth Spirit even through the silence. So I don't know. I think this is a really smart pick. I mean, if it worked last time, why stop? You didn't stop us at all last time. At over 1,000 GPM. BCC's so excited right now. She's like, let's do this again, round 2. Ding.
Polarity have
But I
to.
mean, now what?
Yeah. Now
What's the
what?
last pick?
I was gonna ask you, but you were too quick. But yeah, I feel like you need an invoker, right? I'm sure invoker is a pick here. If it isn't banned out by anyone, but
The Iceberg
it's
Invoker.
yeah, it's one of these heroes that can actually do a whole lot of damage early on. If you go Quasi Exhort, gonna have the Sunstrike to really help actually get the last bit of damage in on the Alchemist, even if he gets his ultimate going. Either that or they go back for the Ancient Apparition, but once again, the Earth Spirit is not on the field. Those are your
They still have no damage though. The physical damage
Yeah.
is still not there. Their burst is mediocre. I think Invoker's really good here. It is an Iceberg Invoker, but still, I think it's good.
What? Was
I'll
that a
let
burn here?
I'll let chat confirm that for you. I'm not gonna go into detail, but no, I actually really agree with you. They get a little bit, with the Quasi Sword, they get the damage they need. They get a little bit of a global presence, which you can set up sort of easily with the Slug Pounds. So Disruptor helping as well with a kinetic field catch too. So
It's mostly going to be the Spirit, just with the slow, and the more levels he gets, obviously you have that follow-up stun to set up for a Sunstrike. I mean, Iceberg's still going to have to aim, of course, a little bit, but
he's gonna have to try. Fleshy
Ah.
Leshy. What is this?
This is often Beastmaster support Leshrac?
Yeah. I've not seen support Lesh in a while.
That is really odd, especially with that any sort of easy setup for the Split Earth.
10 seconds.
What it will do though is add a lot of push even early on, together with the Beastmaster. Means a Fantastic Five win a team fight or are left alone to their own devices in lane, these towers will just melt. Polarity
Well,
have
not only that,
a lot of
think
pressure.
all the damage over time too, like with the Radiance on the Alchemist, Leshrac doing all his like really low cooldown spells, not to mention his ultimate once he gets a couple items. Like,
Yep.
I mean, granted, it's still support Leshrac, but still, like it's quite a bit of damage you have to consider. And yeah, I mean, it's there you go. Pat yourself on the back. Brownie points for Dragon Drop today, boys and girls. Yeah, that's really the only logical thing I could think of that gives you a little bit of control and the damage that they're looking for. So that's huge. That gives them a fighting chance here. And Silent, who also, I mean, he played very well. It's just the team just was really lacking synergy. So it's not, I don't think it was any singular person's fault there. Everyone played respectively pretty damn well. It's just in general the team together as one unit just not great.
Well, game 2 is upon us here. Once the pause is over, well, there's no game without a pause. It would be silly. But yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, welcome. My name is Dragon Drop. I'm joined by Johnny. These teams, they're battling for survival here in the lower bracket in the WellPlay Invitational by a vital bet. Fantastic Five, they're up 1-0. And they need to win this game to make a swift 2 victory, but Polarity, it's their last chance to stay alive in the tournament here. So let's take a quick look at the lineups before the action starts. We've got Lil for Polarity here, already placing up an early ward. That'll not quite spot out the Leshrac, who's actually smoked up, so that ward placement has not been spotted out. But yeah, he's gonna be Earthsplit rolling about. We've got DK Phobos on the Dark here, eating from some trees for some reason. Set up for the jungle a little bit if he needs to go back to that. Always want to fly back on this Disruptor. Iceberg on the Invoker. And that leaves Silence on the Slug.
Deja vu. Oh my gosh, you'll get the immediate T-board. BCC
Oh, wow.
taking the gold, of course, because why not? His teammate picking him out. RMN will be on the Leshrac. As I mentioned, BCC on the
30
Alchemist.
seconds to battle.
Oxen on the Jug one more time, and in this off lane, Cowling on the Beastmaster, who already has the Iron Talent, so he's ready to roll here. Just in case, yeah. Going against Earth Spirit Disrupt, I don't think he really feels comfortable in that lane either, so. Very understandable, sir.
Looks like it's gonna be a 1-for-1 rune trade, so Alchemist,
Yeah.
BZ is gonna get
Give
his
me-
bounty again.
Before we start here, give me your pick just based on the draft alone. Game 1 didn't happen, just based on the drafts, who wins?
Good question actually. I kind of like a 5, but just because they hit the Beastmaster and we saw what the BZ Alchemist could do. Kind of Leshrac is kind of a risky pick at times because if he gets jumped on, then he's just food for the most part. If you think about
Courier.
oh god, Korea. Keep him
Oh,
safe.
they're really guarding it. Look at this.
Yeah, they actually get the not the purifying flames. I keep forgetting these names. Okay, you get the follow-up stun from our man. Rolling from Lil should put a stop to this all. It's unfortunate end. Okay, I remember it now. But yeah, I mean, Earthsplit Roland plus Sunstrike is just gonna kill the Shrek every single time.
I don't know. He does have one GG branch, so his stats aren't too bad. Honestly, that whole like base XP change, it helped him like more than anything good. Like, that really, he's just so damn squishy. They call him Fleshy Leshy for a reason. He's just, eesh. He's so damn squishy here. But yeah, Iceberg's gonna be able to do work here, but the Oracle's still babysitting a Mule. And the Fortune's end off, but BCD's not gonna do anything. He just has Grievous Greed, so. No harm, no foul, just a little bit of harass.
Gotta get those right clicks. We'll be able to. So it's Invoker in lane up against an Alchemist. Or Alchemist in general, right? He's such a good laner because he can just throw out the Essence Spray. It has a huge AoEs, even ranged heroes. Most of them cannot really stand into that for long. Invoker can deal with it more than most because you're gonna have that natural region from the Quas coming in. So should be an okay matchup here in this middle lane. But they really gonna need to try and try and maybe put on some pressure there because it's kinda, or anywhere else once the Sunstrikes level up. That's gonna be on Lil. Finds his level 2 on Bounty Rune as well.
Polarity has much better rotating supports, like you mentioned. Lil's already got the, oh, he's got a Windlace. Look at that, Windlace and Orb of Venom. He's already ready to go, and level 2 as well too. So, also has the Boulder Smash as well. So, but yeah, they're just gonna look just to make sure sounds good to go. But honestly, I think they're perfectly fine. Cowling actually not even getting harassed at all. They will glimpse him back.
Well, they do connect with the powers, and this should be the first blood here. Sunstrike will not connect, not even needed. There's one fly, takes it for himself. And yeah, that's all the stock.
Oh, he's gonna go pick up boots, baby. That's the dream. Support 2 minutes in, and you got yourself a pair of booties. That is the dream.
A pair of boots, not quite booties. It's something different, I believe.
Maybe in Germany. But if you look at last hits, though, Oxen still doing the same thing he did last game, just making use of all the space. Lil actually TPing up in the offlane here, so Dark's here probably going to commit to the jungle now with the finished Iron Talon.
Yeah, he's been in jungle. He's been in jungle the entire time. Really, DK Focus hasn't spent a lot of time in the top lane to begin with, which is why we see Oxen at 21 last hits compared to Slaughter on only 17. Who had a little bit of pressure applied on him by the Beastmaster, but even he, giving up the first blood means, alright, probably best to just continue the jungle myself.
Yeah, well, he was prepared for it. Like, he literally started with the Iron Talon, so he stayed in lane, got about 2.5 levels, and then, yeah, jungle time now, just to be safe.
That sounds DK.
He knew the glimpse was coming eventually. You have to be stung once, I think, before you just like give up on the lane, I guess. Make sure they actually commit all the 3 heroes there. And looks like Lil just gonna get a quick trip home.
Actually amazed that DK Phobos has been able to get so many levels this quickly on the jungle docks here. It's not always easy just for the level 1 Iron Shell just to start jungling, but I guess the Iron Shell is just so good, it's kind of offsetting that.
Yeah, well, he's got the soaring on the way now too, so that's gonna make it even easier.
Double TPC in the mid lane, Lil, ready to get going, always want to fly level 3, holds on to the skill point, depending on whether it needs an extra point of glimpse, or maybe the kinetic field, BZ. So be careful, roll in, will connect, Yol is there to try and help out with the Purifying Flames, not gonna be enough, it's actually, he can try to deny him or something, not sure if that's possible now, he's gonna get glimpse back too, and loving arms of Lil and Iceberg. They're low, but Yol cannot really turn around and fight them, so it just has to stand there. But hey, Cowling, making rotation out of the jungle, at least getting that 1 kill in return. And hashtags basically created top lane is fallen as well. Oxen taking the space and turning it into something.
Yeah, they literally just abandoned that lane. So 5-minute tower, that's pretty much expected. But yeah, Jug almost 40 CS already. That's You saw what he was doing last game when he had this kind of space drag and drop.
Yeah.
I'm getting worried.
And when he decides to start rotating around, there's going to be huge amount of extra damage coming away. And even now, Phobos has to be careful. Of course, he has to search on the darks here.
Radiant's top tower is under
Yeah, but now Omni slashes up on Jug too.
So still has a self. Doesn't have to commit mana for the healing ward. It's just fine up top here. BZZ though, I mean, he's actually being outfarmed right now by Iceberg. He's actually made rotation into jungle to kind of remedy that. He's just his level 6 here. So he's gonna be able to
There's
catch
only
up.
the one stack though.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit more time the last game to really get to the point where he's super annoying to deal with.
Uh-oh, Lil.
Oxen again, there's Omnislash still available. Nice little stun at the very end of the Blade Fury means that Oxen can actually get it off. And so this Leshrac,
I know, I was just about to ask you.
Yeah.
What is he doing with his life right now?
well, you're the analyst technically, so why don't you tell me?
I mean, right now he's just buying all the support stuff, honestly. That is what he's doing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know, I was kind of expecting, going for the push build, but I mean, they're doing it pretty well on their own. The Beast Master can do that just by himself. We have a Sunstrike coming out, he's
Whoa.
going to miss on Yol.
Because of the glimpse back, he'll
Poor
still
Yol.
be brought down, but looks of it. Cold snap. Yeah.
Yeah. See, Iceberg just has so much damage this early, and this poor Oracle has been babysitting mid, is just getting the crap beat out of him. It's the second
Yeah.
time in a row he's died exactly the same way.
He's just trying to suck
I
some
can't even
experience
give
there.
you a real reason, man. He's got 2 points in Lightning Storm, 2 in Split Earth, like...
It's
and
not
now he's...
built, but now he's getting pounced up. Immediate TP though comes down. Silent. This is ultimate at the ready. In case
Actually,
he
the
needs
Midas
it,
already
but-
finished up. I don't think we mentioned that.
Oh no, we didn't. Pretty good timing at the very least. Gonna amplify his damage, his farming output.
Leshrac, he has farm. Like he's the most farm
BZ.
support on the game.
Actually smoke into the jungle here, trying to pick him off. Sunstrike comes in as a healing ward, but it's not gonna be enough to keep him safe for long. Omnislash, only 3 bounces here, but it's enough to bring down Iceberg low enough. No, always want to fly here. Look at these nukes from Yol setting up for the spin damage to finish him off. This one's actually our
There's your
man
Leshrac.
with the
That's what he's
strike.
doing.
Yeah.
The long range lightning. That's what he is doing. I just think it complements the team. Like it's not like a really like heads up pick like, oh my gosh, we got to get the Leshrac. It's just something that kind of complements everything they do. Gives them a little extra magic burst damage, a little bit extra damage over time. Gives you a lockdown, gives you a push. It's just a very versatile hero that kind of just kind of complements the rest of the team. So it's
also
not something immediately we saw like, hey, yeah, this is great. But it gives you a little bit of everything. So I guess I get it now.
It's also reasonable up against the Slug. I feel like it's one possible option to really try and account for him, because all of his stuff, apart from Lightning Strike, goes through it. We can still stun him, we can still damage him with the Edict and the ultimate as well, of course. So it's also an extra consideration that they had in mind with that hero pick. But when it comes to the pushing, obviously not going for the Edict builds. Not utilizing that to its full effectiveness just yet, but it will happen eventually. And then you still have the Beastmaster, right? Cowling actually struggling a little bit. He got his level 6 though, and the makings of his Necro book. So in terms of farm, he's in an okay spot. And if he now starts to rotate around a little bit, maybe try and make use of that roar.
Yeah, he's got a smoke in the stash and actually
Yeah.
on his person now, so it looks like they're gonna get that first roar off right away and hopefully make something happen. Ideally, they'd like to kill the Slark and punish this Midas.
Smoke out, gets a little track 2, he'll heal up and perhaps TP to the tier 2. They wanted to find something in the bottom lane. Silent dropped very low at the end there, but still a
he's
hard
already
kill.
gone.
Dire's top tower is
I think Midas is definitely the right pick here. I mean, you saw last game, like, buyback, you know, notwithstanding, like, he was struggling to keep on par with both the Juggernaut, who had the Battle Fury, and the Alchemist, who's a freaking Alchemist.
Bit of a bot smoke gank here, going up to that in that space. Smoke being revealed, and then everyone just rolls out. Oh, Glimpse back actually on our man. Pops the ultimate, always on the fly, is on it there. Iceberg on the other side, Sunstrike will not connect, but Cold Snap is more enough to bring down this squishy little frag. And that was a bit of an interesting decision. I mean, not just to not have Cowling lead. Because with everything that the Shrek is doing, he can initially stun someone with that long wind-up time on Split Earth.
Oh yeah, no way. It's really surprising. Like he was the first one. He was the head of the pack for most of the charge down there. It's kind of odd. And so they still have the roar that they haven't used. But I think he's just gonna finish up the Necro book. That way he has a little bit of solo kill potential and his own push power as well. He's not too far now away.
Iceberg, you are on Midas now going in straight into the drums, but looks a bit. You can go for face boots, obviously with Wazik swords. You kind of want to go for the boots of travel later. Don't necessarily need that extra damage.
DK Phobos actually already has the mech finished up, 10.5 minutes in. He just went straight for it, no arcanes, just soul ring right in the mech. So putting that functional farm to good use, and hopefully they'll look to push now.
Yep.
They do have double forward spirits as well. That helps.
They wanted to, they can easily start grouping up now. I mean, as we said, Invokers is getting good levels, getting good farm. Slark still, obviously with his own Midas, in the same kind of position. And you do have the Disruptor, you do have that back and wall combo at the ready. Plus the Mechanism. I think this is the time for them to fight now. Fantastic 5 still want more time to really get the items going. BZ still working on that Radiance.
Yeah, they want the Radiance, which is a ways away. They definitely want the Necro book at minimum. And I actually see BZZ here.
Spot him out now.
Actually,
is there though, that could be the roar. Ah, nice little stun again. And BZ, speaking of stuns, he'll stun himself. Maybe that sets up for Lil to follow up. Sunstrike will be off the mark and he walks right in back in. No, he doesn't. Sounds on the Cowling. Finally gets a roar off. That'll be a kill as the rest of Polarity just didn't quite want to follow him there. That's all there is to it here. They did get a little track down at the bottom though, between Always On Fly and Silent. So
it's gonna be a
oh, Iceberg! Got at the rune here. Do they have the detection? Oh, no, they do not, unfortunately. Otherwise, that would have been easy pickings. That value point in the wax definitely working out for Iceberg.
Yeah, that's typical. You want at least one just for the guaranteed escape. Well, hopefully guarantee, depending on if they have detection or not. But yeah, Oracle doesn't have any. Actually, there's no detect. Okay, now he just got sentries. Yep. It's like that's not happening again.
I'm not sure if they realized it before this attempt. Don't think he had to use Ghost Walk before. Or any wax-based abilities. And so, where do you stand?
I always want to fly, really living dangerously here. Gets a sweet ward up. He's got help with Silent. There's the Sunstrike.
He's dead.
He's 100% dead. Hoping to get an eye off, but no chance, buddy.
Boke actually gets a kill. What? That is odd. Oh, well.
Balanced hero.
Yep.
Gets XP and gold for that, even though he was.
He wasn't even there.
A whole lane away. Yeah, it's damn. Yeah, it's already 412 pure damage.
Yep.
He almost has maxed out Exhort already. This is crazy.
Go for the Boots of Travel next and the Agnum Scepter, and then by that point you'll have that completely maxed Exhort.
Yeah, actually, this is right around the same timing that Silent had the Shadow Blade last game. And that was without a Midas. He's just doing so much better. He hasn't died, hasn't got a kill, but he's been part of three team fights, 3 kills. He's got 116 CS already, so that's pretty damn good. Alchemist, by comparison, only has 106. So
yeah. And the lack of stats in the middle lane, it didn't quite win as well as in the last one. Really hurt PZZ here. And Yeah, he had the Radiant at this point already in the last game. This time around, he does not even quite finish up the Relic just yet as he all just dies again.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm so glad they picked up the Invoker. That's exactly what they were missing last game too. They need someone just not necessarily a front runner, but someone that's just kind of controlling, orchestrating the team fights. Like,
yeah.
And almost everyone can set up, you know, the Sunstrike, which at this point is just doing a crazy amount of damage.
Our man gets clips back. It's gotta be annoying. But yeah, I like what Polarity is doing, right? I mean, it's kind of what they were lacking, the kind of coherent game plan. And now Silent with the Invis, they'll find Cao Ling, and the Pounce will miss. But Lil is there for the follow-up, rolls across as a Sunstrike helping to finish him off. Now Arman and Oxen, they hear Silent popping his ultimate, now trying to get himself out, and will be able to speed Z as a stun himself, didn't quite get the vision or the range.
Look at the Juggernaut's inventory and tell me what you see.
See Vanguard.
Why?
Why not?
Last
okay
game was
builds.
exact opposite. Like, it just seems very safe. Last game, I mean, he went like drums, Akala, wand, and then he still went for the Battle Fury, which he had at, I don't know, it's like 20 minutes or something, 21 minutes. Like, it's now you're playing the farm war. You're going against two Midases. Your Alchemist isn't doing all that great. I feel like this would be.
Yeah, they expected that they would be able to fight into Polarity a little bit earlier, but with Mechanism out and this Invoker being so strong, maybe it's not quite as easy for a 5 anymore. But in that sense, the Vanguard is a really good early item to do, just add to your tankiness and enable you to stay in team fights a little bit longer, because Juggernaut can struggle with that a little bit. And it's still built into the Abyssal Blade later, so it's not even a wasted item slot at this point anymore. Now it just spins right in. Does have help coming on the other side. He is smoked up. BZZ charging up the stun, has to turn around. Stun himself again, just a little bit off in the timing, but now 3 of them. 3 of Polarity behind the tower, making the retreat, but they do silence here. They find Silent with that high ground sentry ward and chase him off, forcing him to pop his ulti at the very least. This should probably secure the tower, unless they still want to make plays. Iceberg doesn't have mana though. If F5 realizes, they would push this hard.
F5 has everything. They have Roar, they have Omni Slash, Necrobook's still up. But,
yes.
Yeah, they're just gonna back up. They're worried.
I mean, if you see 2 Midases on the other team, you kind of have to start punching it at some point.
You think? I mean, now it's kind of almost past that point because they're already kind of ahead. They've already got the core items that they want. They got the Shadow Blade. Slug already has 1,700 gold on top of that. Iceberg already like working well towards his Aghanim Scepter. I have BOTs, drums, like it's. I do get to deny on the tower, which is nice, but yeah. Still, it's. Where's your vacuum? Yeah, it's not like it's easy to fight into Polarity though. At the same time.
I can understand hesitation.
Storm, obviously.
Yeah, I can understand the hesitation at the same time. I wish they would be just a little bit more bold, right? Because it's not like they are too far behind themselves. I mean, right now Alchemist, he got the Radiance. I think he had the recipe before the Relic even earlier, or else he just got more gold than even I expected.
I think he found a couple bounty runes, honestly.
They're gonna go on him though. DK Phobos with an soon. Silent coming in from backland as well. BZ has false promise on top of him, plus the ultimate for him. He's racking away. Might be able to turn around here before long. Before it falls. Yeah, he'll just be healed up. Double stun, he got it off, but no follow-up just yet. Cao Ling tries to get in range for Roar. The kinetic field will make that impossibility for him. Oxen spins through, but with no follow-up, he cannot catch up to anyone either. So this time around, they'll just bring the tower down. Level 1 Maldeck, not really the biggest thing doing damage here. Also just the right clicks and the extra attack speed from Beastmaster.
F5 can keep going, they still have everything. Now they have Necro too, they didn't even bother popping the book earlier. But, yeah, look. They'll take their wins, looks like they're gonna rotate bottom. Yeah.
Iceberg created some space here, so forcing them back, which is kind of the best play you can make in this kind of situation when the team fight is already kind of a little bit balked.
Oh, for sure. And they didn't have that factor last game. There's no split push whatsoever. So this is actually really big for them too.
Roar comes out here. This Necrobook's always on flight, dropping low, and will be finished up with the split of Arman. Cao Ling though, vacuum wall. He after Silent just goes ham. That's a 2-for-1 trade, and definitely not worth it. Oxen, BZ, and Yol. Maybe considered going back in there, but would have gotten there when it was way too late. Good reactions there from Polarity, just being at the right place at the right time at this point.
Yeah, and they can take advantage of that too. Push it, keep the lanes pushed. Although Jug now actually is taking the wave all the way up top, going across the river now. So, what does he get next? He got 3K gold.
Good question. I mean, Juggernaut is such a versatile hero. There's so many item builds that you can go for. It's always kind of hard to tell. I want to say just a meta style, something like that. Just deal with some of the lockdown and disabled they have. Just some silence from the Earth Spirit. Okay,
Oh,
they're gonna go again.
Island.
BZZ channeling up the stun, and will be able to get a lot of actually silent with a purge. And yeah, they won't. Actually, BZZ trying to keep track, trying to keep the vision here, limit the speed from silent here, but the glimpse back will finally put a stop to that. So Polarity get themselves a freebie. Continue farming.
Their team's so much more mobile, Polarity, this time too. Like before, like they were struggling to really get into space and get into position, and now like, I mean, the Invoker obviously incredibly fast. Disruptor still kind of, well, he's riding the Raptor, so like he's not too slow. He's got 350 moves speed, it's good, you know. But I mean, the Slark very mobile. Obviously, Earth Spirit being able to roll about, and really any way he wants. So it really helps just because they can kind of re-goose and kind of go to help their teammates, which is something they were really lacking last game.
Yeah, F5 they have a lot of damage at this point, but they have a really hard time actually applying it. We've seen it in that last team fight when they turned it around BZ. I mean, that's a team fight that. Okay, this time around they will find always one flag. Even commit the Ominous Slash, make sure it's going to be a quick pick off. But then they should we be able to find anyone else because of the high mobility that you mentioned. So, if they get themselves maybe some sort of a blink dagger on Beastmaster, it's still ways off because obviously you also want to have that level 3 Necrobug. Just to like walk beside you, be that mobile vision for the Slark, Shadowblade as well. Actually, still better to this point already again. But at some point, once you have the blink dagger, oh god, Cowling. This gets gone on by Silent here. Sunspec will miss, but there we go. Also, Lil coming back in with a Magnetize. BZ, Silent drop low, doesn't actually have his ultimate, plus the armlet going through the whole time that he was knocked down. So he will fall alongside the rest of his support. Oh man. Cannot get caught out like that.
That is huge. With the Omni Slash down and Juggernaut nowhere to be found, they know that they have the firepower right now. They know their team fight's a lot stronger, especially when Omni Slash is down. So, I mean, they blow up the Beast match before you even get anything off at all. So that's absolutely huge. And yeah, BZZ by himself. Yeah, he's top of the net worth, but it's an Alchemist and he's by himself. So really not all that imposing at this point in the game. Although, yeah, he's got the Armlet, BOTs, Radiance, almost has the Manta completed. So
He's not
slowly
even that far
trying to
ahead,
get where he
though.
was.
Yeah.
No, for an Alchemist, no, definitely not. Yeah.
Compared to last game, he was 8k ahead of his own Oxen, his own Juggernaut. This time around, he's barely 1,000 away from the Invoker, which is not a place where you want to be as an Alchemist.
No, the Slark still beats the crap out of him, and that's a thing too now. I mean, we'll see what item he ends up going for here. Last time at this point, he actually went for the MKB, but I don't know. I think the Scotty's okay. Oh, Flesh. He's just becoming Slark food at this point.
Didn't tell you.
Leshy.
Leshy. Very squishy.
Oh my gosh, look at all these sentries right here. Oh my god. They're really worried about Slark, and they literally, Leshak was killed right in the middle of all of this. Insult to injury at that point.
What can you do as Leshak when the Slark is running at you if you can see him? Right? I mean, you can throw the stun.
That's what's surprised with the drums. Like, I would sell everything you have and get a Yules and pray someone can come in and help you by that time. No, he's pretty much going to be food regardless, so I don't know, just play the buddy system at this point. I mean, you have sentries, but you have no real reliable vision there, so.
Looking at the late game, who would you actually favor here? I mean, if F5 had some more time to just farm up and get their core items going.
You can give them all the time in the world. They're not going to win a farm war against two Midases, against two heroes that are already very, very far ahead. I mean, it's the Alchemist is going to do his thing, but I mean, he's 1, 3, and 4. He's really not accomplishing a whole lot. His split push factor isn't really all that big of a deal now since Polarity's ahead. I mean, yeah, you already got Greaves on DK Phobos. He's already got his Blink Dagger. You've already seen 2 amazing back wall setups. One of them a little bit kind of anticlimactic, but just making sure to keep BCZ down. Well worth the investment.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to go with Polarity at least right now. Just honestly though, I think it kind of depends on the Invoker's next item too. Like he's got all the positioning tools. He's got the Aghanims. I mean, the Hex would be amazing. There's no BKBs yet.
This is a play though that can maybe get them a little bit more room to breathe. Gonna go smoke right into Roche, and they take it relatively quickly as well. They commit everything. Sunstroke comes out, but it's too late. They'll confirm that they've been doing it here. They can maybe still put on some pressure up on the top tower though. The entirety of Polarity here occupying the Dice jungle, so it could be that's the kind of standard 2-2 for Roche, right?
That's probably the best play F5 could make, honestly. But what can they do with it though? Their team fight is still significantly weaker. They don't really have the pick-off potential. Their split push is even at best with the double Manta. I mean, I still think the Slark is he's pretty damn quick with it, and so is
wow!
So.
Armin TP's out and gets glimpsed back. But always
So
one fly just in the nick of time, yeah. Oh, Yule.
I mean, that's just gonna keep happening the entire game. Both the supports literally have no defense against that.
Just get Ghost Scepter.
Or pop his ult, but yeah, but they're so poor now. They keep dying. Like, there's no way. I think Leshrak's slowly building towards that.
Yeah.
He's got 1300, but it's not pretty. This is kind of what I was expecting, a more even game. Like this is both.
This has been coming in silent, dodges the stun, or purges the stun.
We know Polarity's a talented team. It's just last game it just kind of seemed like they needed a warm up.
Silence still slowed down by the ball. BZ is in the front lines now, but stopped by Kinetic Peel. Gets a stun off onto Always on the Fly. Guarding Greaves to keep him safe. And now Lil, okay. Almost takes Oxen with him with the Omni Slash. So that's wasted 2 with 5. They're still not quite finding the angles. They actually go into these fights, and now Silent ready to re-engage. As all the illusions actually go to Always want to Fly. They actually almost bring him down. They have to pop the dust. And he finds himself a region rune, which is
Ice Frog, well done.
Yeah, Ice Frog, please.
Someone prayed to Ice OS Frog. RNG is shining up on you.
Sitting on high ground here. I don't think Polarity
That's the
knows
only
what's
thing I'm
up
kinda
here. They
questioning
smoked
now
up,
is
that will be broken by little. Now Always one fly gonna get gone on here. Finds a kinetic field. Now vacuum back into it. All 3 heroes down. Just like that. Oxen with the spin in the front lines, but there's very little he can do actually. All alone. BZ coming back in. Lifted up in the other one. Nice tornado. It's just being isolated. The Aegis down, but that's the Aegis down last. They'll have an easier time bringing him down a second time. Oh, this is...
That's like verbatim how you depicted that would happen in like an ideal team fight when they drafted the first 2 heroes. When they picked Disruptor and Darkseer as the first 2 picks, that's exactly what you expected to happen, and then finally did.
It's a
like it kind of, yeah. That's like there's nothing you can do against it.
It's gonna be most likely a set of racks. BZ brought back. It's man. They still have the Raw here, but okay, they don't have another Oracle. BZ gets brought down, bashed up, glimpsed back even on the support. He will fall with no buyback. As much as we gave here again. Polarity, they have a reason to stop here right now.
Greaves cooldown, I guess. 12 seconds. Yeah, everyone's still relatively healthy. Always want to fly, living dangerously, but I don't really think they care at this point.
If you're missing your Alchemist, which accounts for 16k of your net worth, you can't take fights like this. You got the Roar Silent here after his Q came out, but they have vacuum into stack Storm again. False Promise comes out and Oxen's spinning around, trying to do some damage here. They might lose Lil at the end. They will, but Beastmaster ends up popping. Cold Snap onto Yol, he will fall again. Juggernaut, last man left standing, but there's Polarity kind of running out of damage now without the Slark and without any mana points.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, all things considered, considering they got wiped and a dieback on Alchemist, the fact they only lost 1 Rax, never mind, just kidding. Juggernaut has to TP out, Iceberg's gonna finish it.
He doesn't have mana, he just walks up and starts hitting Ox and he just has a TP out. And he just finishes off the tower. It's just...
That was gonna be my biggest question for you for Polarity, like how were they gonna break base? But if you get a team wipe literally right outside the T3, that makes it a little bit easier, right?
Yeah.
Because that's really the only part of their lineup that's not ideal. Like their high ground's really damn strong. Their pick-off potential's been really, really potent. Mostly just Slark and Iceberg doing whatever the hell they want. But yeah, now they've got all the tools that they need now. Once the Forest has picked up on the Earth Spirit, just to get maybe always want to fly out of danger, and he has actually a Glimmer Cape he picked up after they took that Rax. So everyone's got the tools that they need right now.
Yeah.
Slark's got a Moon Shard. Oh my.
What have we here?
Let me just put it this way: if you're looking at Dwarf chart and you see an Alchemist anywhere but on the top, then that's a pretty reliable indicator that this team's not doing well.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but if he's not at least like 6 to 7k plus above, I mean, because you gotta keep in mind he needs at least like 1 or 2 major items ahead of a regular core, of a regular carry to be effective. So, and especially since he's going like the Naga build, like his damage is pretty garbage. His sustain, he doesn't have Octarine cores, so it's pretty garbage. It's, I mean, they've really drafted well around him.
Right, so now Polarity just set up in the bottom lane where they have an exposed Rax. RMN can't really do too much on this rack at this point. This has always been just extra gold. What he can do, yeah, he's trying to. He will skip the Kui wave. And
They wait for
didn't
next
bring
Aegis,
any.
or they just go for it.
I think they just go for it if they can.
There's really nothing holding him back. If they kill the Alchemist, he's down for almost 80 seconds, so.
Yep.
They're just splitting up the map, Iceberg taking the top lane. Oh my gosh, he went like full defensive. He's got Lincolns and BKB, so he'll be nigh unkillable at this point. Jesus. Oh, yeah. Can't roar me. Well, but they're not even able, like, really able to go on Iceberg. Like, he's so well placed in these team fights. Not to mention with like the Darkseer in the middle, the Static Storm and Slark just tearing everything up while Magnetize and the boulders are rolling around. Like,
Polarity having enough control. It's not that you can't really counter as a 5, especially during high ground defense. I mean, sure, it's a choke point for Polarity. It's also kind of a choke point for F5 if they want to go in closer here with their melee cores. And Alchemist, Juggernaut, they have to get close, obviously, to hit someone, and that's kind of a prime opportunity to just catch a couple of people in a vacuum wall and Static Storm combo. They don't have the
which
defensive
we've seen
tools
like
to
the
deal with
last
that.
couple of fights. It's just cataclysmic for them. So
They're gonna go in.
Sound's gonna go in.
There's Sentry here, and Oxen dealing with a high ground vision. Oh, roll on the backlines here. Meatball will miss, but BKB comes out. Always on the fly, will fall. Cowling get at least that much. On the front lines, little silent Phobos looking for more targets. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far. No, he's in front lines, gets low down by the Icefall, gets the stun off onto Lil, can't really follow him to bring him down. Meanwhile, and back here, Oxen gets the Omni Slash on Darkseer, taking him off the field, and this should be what Polarity says. Alright, that's just kind of losses. Try to get out of here with that 2-for-2 trade.
I don't know how they got split up so quickly. The Darkseer actually got the combo off. Oh my gosh!
Oh,
did he just Sunstrike?
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Oh my
Across
God.
the map.
Didn't
It
have
is
vision
vicious.
up there anymore. Iceberg, man.
Yikes.
What the? Yeah, with that, I actually have much more space to actually go for these kind of things. Silent on front lines. Just a little bit weird still.
Yeah, BZZ's literally nothing to them right now. Look at this. Unfortunately, there's no Sunstrike available right now.
Oh,
Disabling Silent's the only real way that they can slow him down. And he's
almost
still gonna
gets
get away.
silent. Yeah, wow. Almost got him at the end there. Not quite enough damage here. Also thanks for the help from Lil again. on the Soul Spirit, creating some interference with the tossing the stones. Yeah, they haven't broken second set of racks yet, but how long that fight took, Bristol base, obviously with the lane still pushing in, Bristol base took a little bit extra damage. So
Yeah. Well, there's not too much longer until the next Aegis is up, so I think they're just kind of testing the waters, seeing what they could do. But they just got split up so quickly, and the vacuum wall combo unfortunately did not connect. So
Yep.
they had the zoning wall there, unfortunately unable to really capitalize on it. But it's not really like they're in too much of a hurry though. Like they're okay. I mean, they're definitely winning the farm war, and I mean the Juggernaut's in the middle of the net worth chart, and he's still far from being scary.
So what's the game plan now for F5? What can you do to grab some measure of control back in this game? Just more high ground defense and hope for a mistake from Polarity?
I think you have to wait for the Roche, contest it, and you have to win that fight somehow. I mean, their team fight still isn't that strong, but you saw like the Leshrac doing so much damage over time. And okay, the Octarine Core picked up on the Alchemist. He knows he doesn't have buyback, so they're just going all in. I think they have to contest this, and they just have to pull it off. But the Oracle has the hardest job too. I mean, because he's trying to get he's trying to keep everyone safe, but at the same time, like disabling the Slark is probably like the most valuable thing he can do in the fight right now. You definitely want to get the false promise to save somebody, but just disabling him is just so huge right now.
Yeah, the problem is Yol is getting focused down so early in the fights. Time and time again, that he isn't able to find a good one.
Yeah, well that's like the Slark's mission now. It's like I'll kill you before you can get the false promise off. Or if you use it on someone else, I'll just kill you. Like he used it on our man. Okay.
What was that? Oxen just actually goes back in. That blink dagger of his at the spin here, right? Go right back on the invoker.
Nice.
Just trolling the stage coming in, but now maybe they can follow it up with a nice little vacuum wall on 2. Omnislash comes out, goes on to illusions. Entirely wasted here. Now the McIntyre Sun comes in from the back lines, trying to clean up with forcing out the false promise on the Oracle himself. Now the roar from Culling will make it a 1-for-1 trade, but only for Lil. 2 for 2 overall so far. BZZ almost to the result, gives it up from DK Phobos, but Silent he's still going ham. He's stacking up that intelligence. And it's gonna turn it into 5-man wipe more than likely here when the man mode up against Oxen gets the bash and gets the kill. Immediate buyback from 2, both of them. That's
105 stolen agility for Slark. Yeah, I think I think he's okay. He's got the MKB done. He's no fears in the world here.
Yeah, and Boca, he took down the rain tracks in the bottom in the meantime. Ilrax also dropped quite low. Iceberg looks like he wants to go mid for it. Gets stand up, Silence there, pops the BKB to stop that, stop him from dying. Now BZ, the cold snap being quite annoying, but Silence doesn't want to go in deeper.
He really could have, but there's really no need to. You already got the objective, just get out. As you mentioned before, this is the second game of a BO3 that is elimination. Kind of a big deal if they win, so just gonna play methodically. They know Roshan's up now, so take the objective, get a couple kills, force a buyback, and actually 2 buybacks. Juggernaut bought back as well.
Yep.
Yeah, they have to contest this. They're flying down there in BCC as fast as he can. Always want to fly with the Invis, sees him out.
Just goes straight into the stag storm here on top of the cold snap, but he tries to mentor it off. It's not going to be enough here. Silent now, false promise finally comes out. He still has to run for a while. Oxen doing some work though, and do force out another BKB charge. Still looking for an angle to come back in here. Yol caught with meatball, he should end up falling. Roshan is down though. BZ actually picks up the Aegis Lil. Ready with his combo on the side now to vacuum into the wall. Silent right on top of him here. BZ, his Aegis will be triggered immediately. Everyone else is dead as well. Yeah, they cannot win this game now. GG, well played is called.
Literally looked like 2 different teams between game 1 and game 2 for Polarity. Literally like 2 completely different teams. And all it took was a little bit different drafting, and maybe it's just they needed a warm-up game. I don't know. That game 1 was just so unorganized, and you saw like what their potential is and how good they can be. And I don't know. I mean, they got off to a decent. I mean, it's not like they were like dominating the early game. Like they did okay in the laning phase. And then mid was even. Slark obviously both the safe lanes were pretty much free farm. And, you know, they got the double Midas, was not punished whatsoever. F5 was unable to really do anything. The Darkseer made sure of that. He picked up the early mech, kept them from fighting into him. And they just kept spiraling out of control. I mean, look at those scores there. Look at the fantasy
Oh yeah.
points. 3 people in double digits. Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
15-1, 13-1, 8-2, 17 Darkseer. Like, I'm pumped for game 3, my man.
Yeah, it's gonna be coming up, the deciding match in just a couple of moments' time, so don't go too far away.